All right, everyone. Welcome to our team call. It is September 30th, a new month beginning tomorrow. And what a great way to end the month and kick off a new month with our special guest tonight. So before we get started, just want to make sure you guys all watched the 90-day action plan call that John Rains did today with Tanya Kirkpatrick. It was fabulous on hosting events. She does such a phenomenal job on hosting in-home events. Great ideas. You guys will absolutely love the call. If you haven't watched it, I did post the link in our business page, so be sure to check that out when you have a few minutes. You'll really get a lot out of it. Have a notepad and pen ready for that one because you'll really enjoy this call. Next up, I'm going to actually do this a little unconventionally. I'm going to bring up Richard Lynn. And a lot of you guys know Richard. He's a newer team member on our team, very good friends and working extremely closely with my son, Tyler. And I have watched Richard transform in amazing ways over the last few months. And I wish I had video of him when I first met him compared to now so that you guys could all just be so floored with the transformation I've seen. And much of it is because of his working with Simon. So I thought rather than me introducing Simon tonight, I'll interview him. I've got all my questions prepared, but I really wanted Richard to do the introduction because he's really been very life-changing for Richard. So Richard, I'm going to ask you to unmute first. I'm going to mute to keep the line quiet, and I'd love for you to introduce your mentor.
Awesome. How's everyone doing today? Well, I'm actually a little nervous here, but I'm so excited that Simon took the time out of his day and out of his busy schedule to pour into us. And for those of you who don't know Simon, he has built a 7-figure network marketing business, and he's the creator of the #1 network marketing podcast, MLM Nation. And I was so lucky I was actually featured on one of his episodes. So in order for me to introduce Simon, I got to share a little bit about how I started. When I first started in network marketing, I was a shy, passive Asian kid. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no skills. I had no idea what network marketing is. And all I knew was I needed a vehicle, and this was it. I was willing to do whatever it takes. And I know Simon likes to say a lot, the leader will go out and find a way. And that's exactly what I did. I went out and I looked, and I found Simon's coaching program. So before I started with Simon, I had so many limiting beliefs. It's crazy. I used to think to myself, I'm like, okay, I'm an Asian, and nobody would listen to me. No one would buy from me. I mean, like I look around the industry, the network marketing industry. I see Eric Worre, I see Ray Hickton, there's Cindy, Tyler, like all amazing top leaders, but I don't really see someone I can truly relate to because they don't look the way I am. And I wanted a role model. And Simon basically showed me what's possible, regardless of the way I look, regardless of the way I talk, my accent, or where I came from. He basically paved the way for me. So I thought to myself, if someone like Simon, someone who looks like me can do it, why can't I do it? So long story short, I emptied my bank account and I jumped right into his coaching program and never looked back ever since. So since then, we have been like talking every day and really built a solid relationship. And I know what kind of music he likes. He knows what kind of music I like. We like to share music with each other, and just so fun working with him. And I mean, Simon basically helped me become who I am today. If you knew me from day one, like Cindy said, you'll be shocked. I'm completely a different person now. The Richard 8 months ago wouldn't be comfortable doing this right now. The Richard 8 months ago wouldn't even turn the camera on. And the Richard eight months ago had no posture. I had poor energy. I just had lack of confidence. And the Richard 8 months ago would do this instead. Hi, my name's Richard, and this is Simon. I was far from a leader or someone that people look up to. When I first started, I was constantly touching my hair because I was so self-conscious. I wasn't sure of myself, and I cared too much about what other people think. But look at me now, like I shaved my head. I don't even have hair to worry about anymore. And since then, I've had so many people reach out to me about how I've inspired them, how I've changed their life in some way, and how I've been building online as well. That's the crazy part. crazy part. I just have so many different opportunities now. And I was actually featured on other interviews as well, just because I decided to surround myself with someone like Simon. So I'm just so grateful and truly, truly honored to call him my mentor and a friend. So let's give it up for the one and only Simon Chen.
Oh, beautiful. And I bet Simon is just like, this is why we do what we do, guys, because we make an impact in people's lives. And Simon has truly impacted Richard. And so Simon, I'm going to have you share in a second. I want to let you know that actually my son is the one that introduced me to your podcast. So I've listened to many of your podcasts, but to prepare for this, I listened to episode 157, which was a 2-hour interview of you being interviewed on your podcast. So I could get to know you a little better. And it was absolutely incredible. And we share a lot in common. And I love what you stand for. I actually have a little note here of your daily habits that I have right by my desk. And so I would love for you to start. First of all, thank you for your time. We know how busy you are. I would love for you to start, for those that don't know all about you, with a little bit of your story and your introduction into network marketing and why you chose network marketing to be the vehicle for you to kick off your career like this.
Sure. Well, thank you, Cindy. It's an honor to be here. But I want to add a couple things to what Richard said. First of all, Richard said he was a shy, quiet Asian kid. He stole that line from me. All right. The only difference is I'm a shy, quiet Asian kid from Brooklyn, New York, and he's a shy, quiet kid from Taiwan. And I think like Richard said he related to me, and that an Asian kid could do it, he could do it. I think the only reason he related to me, found me, was because he found someone that was uglier than him. So, hey, we can do it. Anyone else can do it. So, but before I share background, I wanted to get to know a lot of your new friends I've never met before. Why don't you share with me where you're from? I love geography. I just like history, geography. Why don't you type in where you're from? I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I grew up. I live in Los Angeles now. So Anna from Connecticut, I used to drive through Connecticut to skiing, to Vermont all the time. Delaware, all right? I was just in Delaware in August. Going to Ocean City with South Dakota, all right, Sioux Falls. And, all right, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Connecticut. Okay, a lot of East Coast, New York, Ohio. How can the East Coast of Midwest? I don't know. Virginia, Chicago, Midwest, all right? Manchester, Baltimore. Good. We have some West Coast, Arizona. All right, that gives me a couple Arizonas. So that gives me an idea of who I'm talking to. It's good. A lot of you are from East Coast because I talk fast. I'm just excited, and people out west seem like there's something wrong with me. But I'm very no BS, very straight and direct. So you all can relate. That's good. So anyway, how I got started once upon a time in 2003. I was, kind of soul searching, doing different things. My friend gave me a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And actually really long story was, and Richard didn't even know the story, was an ex-girlfriend told me, and I had a great job working at the NBA, basketball players and all that. And I was getting free tickets to all these games. And I'm a huge basketball, and that was like a dream job. But she never respected me. I was like, because I didn't make much income. See, the thing is, if you work for the NBA, the cool thing is you get to, you get a lot of great perks. But the bad thing is because it's a dream job, no one really, you don't need to pay you much money, right? So I just I just love my job. I was going to the playoffs and that. And she never, respected me. And eventually, obviously the relationship never lasted. But I was just like, how come she didn't respect me? This is such an awesome job. Because she was reading, she was really young, and she was reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. So years later, after we broke up, I finally read, what's this book that she told me? And I read, oh, no wonder she didn't respect what I was doing. Because I was making no money. I was trading massive amounts of time for very, very little income. My first job was like 20-something thousand a year, but I thought I was a dream job. So no wonder she was laughing at me and stuff. I was so foolish. But anyway, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I realized I wanted to do something for myself about passive income. And I thought about doing a Subway franchise because all I knew was sports, and no business skills. But then I read a book. The Subway franchise was just way too expensive. I didn't have the money. But then I read a book, Purpose Driven Life. And, I did the 40 Days of Exercises, the book by Rick Warren. And it was about I felt that God's purpose for me was to have a positive impact as many lives as possible. And I think during that book, the reason I came up with that was, even though I was like a shy, quiet kid, I enjoyed coaching and training. So helping people. So even, like I'm just bad, not great with strangers, but once you get to know me, I like to help. So for example, in my church, I was the counselor for the high school program. In college, I did a lot of basketball camps for kids in Chinatown to get them off the streets. I enjoyed coaching and mentoring. And when I heard about the thing called network marketing, it was like people were like negative about network marketing. I was like, what's bad about network marketing? Isn't that like marketing computer networks? What's so bad about that? And then I read more about it. And then I even read the book Network Marketing for Dummies. So not only was I ugly, I was dummy too, dummy. So I read Network Marketing for Dummies, and it said that if you work this, is the network marketing, but I should recently talk to someone about this. If you do this, like if you work on your Isagenix business 6-7 days a week for 5 years, you could earn a full-time income. And I was like, what is stats? The stats there. Right now, you may not make 7 figures. Some of you may have to grow to be that person. But if you work the business every single day for 5 years, not dabbling in other things, just staying focused, you can earn a full-time income. So I was all right, I'm in. I'm not the person who quit. And I just randomly, this is probably a real story, randomly found someone online, found a company, found a, at that time, Isagenix didn't even exist. Otherwise, I'll probably be an Isagenix member. But I found a company and Googled that company in Los Angeles, found someone's website, and I called them, hey, I want to join. How do I sign up? So anyway, Cindy, that's how I signed up. And then once I signed up, I was like a smashing success. I made no money for a couple months. So that's like my bridged version of my story.
That's great. And you guys can absolutely go to that episode if you want to hear the whole story. But I have a ton of questions for you, and we have no idea how these go, but like the biggest reason I want you to be on this call sharing with our team tonight is really for you to share your best advice with everyone on this call. These are the people that show up week after week after week. We have a bunch of people that have kid conflicts at night, and they get on and they watch the replay of this. And you interview top leaders from all different companies across network marketing. And I'd really love for you to share what sets the average person in network marketing apart from the people that really are successful, the people that can create 6 figures and more and really contribute to their family. What sets us apart?
So let's talk about the basics first. Why if you're struggling, what you're not doing. There's 3 things that everyone needs, all right? Because we're all human. I get lazy. Richard gets lazy. Cindy's lazy. Our DNA, right? DNA is like a caveman DNA is like we just want to sleep in a hammock. And I don't know about the cavewoman, but I know the caveman. We just like to sleep in a hammock, and the only time we'll wake up is if we were hungry, tiger came, or someone stole our woman. That'll get us out of the hammock, and we'll do some fighting, right? But we don't want to do something. We procrastinate. So, but the top leaders, they learn how to do little small hacks, routines that get them going. So here's one of the first things I learned early. I want you to, successful people do things that unsuccessful people don't do. Right? I always tell Richard that. Successful people do things that unsuccessful people don't do. And some people, initially the first time, I asked my mentor, I said, well, that is but successful people are different. They're so motivated. They want to do it. No. The stuff that you don't want to do, I'm sure Cindy doesn't want to do it either. We all don't want to do it. Do I like to prospect? I hated prospecting, but I did it anyway because every day I remind myself, successful people do things that unsuccessful people don't do. So that's why they're successful. So if you just look at the things that people don't do and you do it, the opposite, you'd be successful. It's about consistency. So 3 things that get you stuck, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't make any money for the first couple of months, is number 1, you need like a checklist, like a DMO. I think that you all have a DMO. Cindy, you have every day. If you don't have one, on MLNation.com, we have a DMO. Like every day, these are the things you gotta do, right? These are things I call income-producing activities. And there's 2 types of activities in your business. And don't fool yourself, all right? And just talk about 7-figure earners. There's activities like action that put you in action, and then there's motion. Motion is stuff to get you ready. Action is like the DMO, the income producing activities, invites, presentations, home meetings, three-way calls, Zoom webinars. That's action. That's the only thing that makes you money. Okay, watching the Zoom does not make you any money. Watching or reading a book doesn't mean, now that stuff is valuable, but that's motion. That's getting ready to go, right? Getting ready. Like reading a book, attending an event, really important. But those are, so a lot of distributors confuse motion with action. You're in motion, you're moving, you're busy, but you're not making any money. At the end of the day, you have to work out of a checklist. And like, it's like kind of like going to grocery shopping. If you go grocery shopping, if you go to Costco, like grocery shopping, right? Everyone here, I think a lot of your moms, you have a checklist. Otherwise, you forget when you run errands, you have a checklist. You go to Costco, you have a checklist. Right? You ever go to Costco without a checklist? That's like deadly. You end up spending like at least $400 or $500. Right? And if you're like me, go to Costco without, that's why I don't go shopping. It's like, if you have like me, go to Costco without a checklist, I buy all types of crap that I didn't expect to buy. And the one thing I needed, I forget. Right? That's like with the business. You do all type of motion, stuff like this. I'm doing this, but you didn't talk to anyone. You didn't follow up with a prospect. So you got to work on a checklist. The second thing is you need consistency. That is the number one skill that every person, I've interviewed almost 600 leaders now. And Cindy's actually going to be on the show. We're doing an interview this week. She's actually going to be 576 next week. We'll have her on, right? We're going live on iTunes and on the podcast. It's like they're very, very consistent. They learn to be consistent. They may not be consistent throughout the day, but every day they're doing something. And there's times when, you don't get much done, but you get something done, right? You can have unproductive moments, but don't have an unproductive day. You can do, some days where you do nothing for like 23 hours, but you squeeze in 10 minutes to send out one or two follow-up message. That's better. That's better. I mean, there are days like that, but you got to get done. Never skip a day. It's once you skip a day, it's easy to skip another day. And the third thing is you need accountability, because we are humans, especially if you're new, you're stuck. Accountability could be like, Richard went on to hire me as a coach, but you can have accountability. Something not just your upline. Really good accountability is, and that was my turning point when I had someone to hold me accountable. It could be a cross line, someone at your level, right? Some maybe like, Cindy. Cindy's a great leader, but sometimes, sorry, Cindy, but some people cannot relate well to you because they're especially new, and you can't also. Sometimes we forget how they are, right? But if you're like earning $100 a month, Cindy may not relate well to you, may not relate well to her, but you can find another one that's earning like $100 a month in your team, right? In Isagenix that you could be partners with. And actually, that was one of the big things for me. My first, when I started turning around, earning $100 a week, was I had two people. This guy, Anthony, from South Carolina, this woman, Lynn, from Calgary, and we're like the same level, earning $100 a week. And every week we'll be on Messenger. Hey, how's it going? How was your week? We were cross-line. We didn't benefit from each other, but we inspired each other. And we also vented too. We had a whole, I got like 10 people for three-way calls, and none of them signed up. We just like vent on each other, right? Sometimes when you vent on your upline, they're like, please shut up, right? But like you need someone on the sideline, but like, oh yeah, okay. We became great friends. So those are the three things. You need a checklist, you need a consistency, and you need accountability. And with those top leaders, they have that all, and they also think long-term, right? They're not going out there to go and find prospects. They're out there thinking long-term relationship. They're collecting friends. And they know, and two more things is like they know not to compare themselves to other people. So in comparison is the thief of joy, right? This is saying that because you can compare yourself, like if you're new and you're like, oh, look at Cindy, she is the top so quickly. Yeah, it gets very discouraging, right? And I've been through that. I didn't know better when I was very discouraged. I actually was making $70,000 a year and not happy because I saw these people make $200,000 quicker than I was doing it, right? But you have to understand that when people, what were they doing before they got started in Isagenix? Were they like someone like Cindy has so many years of experience in network marketing? Of course, you can't compare with her, right? Even someone who'd never done network marketing, but maybe they were a leader of a church. They were basically doing network marketing, but not in network marketing, right? They were networking, right? They're launching a church, or they're doing some volunteer program, or they're running like a charity program in school. That requires leadership. That requires networking. Like someone that started a travel-based sport team, that requires tremendous leadership, networking. They're basically networkers, all right? So they come into network marketing. Of course, they're going to grow fast. So you can't compare yourself. This is saying Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 20, right? Focus on working on long term. Don't ever say, well, this person's not interested. Oh, they're no good. You never know, right? You got to build a relationship. One of my top leaders took me 4 months to come in. Another of my friends took 5 years to come in. But the longer you stay, the easier it gets. Every prospect, right? Most people are not going to join nor buy. You have to understand, people expect that most will join. They get deceived. Most people will join. Most people are not going to join. Not now. Doesn't mean never, just not now, right? There's never a bad prospect, just the wrong time for the right prospect. So, meaning you meet a friend. Well, now's not a good time. Just say you have the best person. Cindy's a top recruiter, right? Great recruiter, right? So just say you have a prospect that just gave birth yesterday to a baby. I don't care who you put in front of them. I don't care whether you put Cindy talk to or the number one earning ICGN talk to. You know what? That person is not going to join. I don't care how great your presentation is. It's not going to join because the timing is not right. But as long as you stay in the game, that's why this business is easier and easier. Because every prospect, I'm going to write this down, is either going to join your business, be a customer, or give you a referral in their lifetime. One of three things. Join your business, be a customer, or give you a referral. Now, maybe not today, maybe not next year. Sooner or later, they will, right? And the way to impress them is with consistency. And that's why the consistency is the number one skill. Your negative prospects, negative friends that don't, what are you doing? The way to turn them around is be consistent. Keep marching that beat. Because everyone can do one thing really excited for 1 week. But you're going to be there 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That's when they, that the woman that had a baby, not interested, maybe 4 years later, right? The kid's going to school now. Now she has time, but she can't get back in the workforce because she's out of 4 years. She's quote unquote too old now. She's 40s. Now, they don't want to hire a 40-some-year-old woman. She can't get back to the career. She's out of it. Now she's looking, maybe I should do something from home. That's when she's a great prospect. But you have to stay in the game. You have to be consistent. And why would she think of you? Because every time on social media, she sees you growing your business, being positive, growing your business, being positive. If people ask you, does it ever work? Well, if you keep posting stuff about your business, what are you thinking? Of course, because people are waiting for you to fail. Every one of you have prospects waiting for you to fail. But if you keep saying, wow, it's been 7 years, you're still doing this, it must be working really well, right? So anyway, I'll share one other tip too. People used to ask me, Simon, does your business work? Does it work? Are you making money? You know what I'll say to them? I'll say, hey, you know me for quite, especially my warm markets, right? I'll say, you know me for quite some time, right? They'll say, yes. Am I a dumb guy? And they'll say, of course not. Then why would I be doing this if it didn't work? And I'll just shut up, and then they go, oh, okay. And you just stay consistent over and over and over again. Anyway, so you have to cut me off because I can talk forever.
I love it. And it's all great advice. And posture is absolutely everything. I know you're a massive reader. I see all the books behind you. Purpose Driven Life was probably my very first book I read that just touched my life, major game changer for me. You mentioned Rich Dad, Poor Dad. What would be, if everybody was going to be like, all right, I want to read one book, what would be your favorite book to help these guys, with their business and their life?
Well, if you're a believer of Jesus Christ, you have to read the Bible. I think all the source of wisdom from any type of self-development book out there, including selling book, comes from the Bible. It basically comes from Proverbs. I read Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. I read one chapter a day and then repeat back and forth. It goes back to there. If you're talking about like non-Christian book, the one book to read for entrepreneurs is also the most recommended book. And it's really difficult to read and difficult to understand is Think and Grow Rich. Okay, the original unabridged version. And I just warn you, the first time you read it, I had no idea what I was reading. I thought I was reading Greek. The second time, I actually had to listen to the abridged version of the audio. I still didn't really understand what I was reading. But it took me like 10, 15 times. But now I go back to that book at least once a year because the stuff is really, really true. It's whatever you think. Success, 95% of success is all up here. Right? It's all up here. That's why you see the same people successful and successful. You guys have the same product, same company, everything's the same. But why are some people a success? It's how they think. So I would go with Think and Grow Rich.
That's awesome. Okay, and you mentioned events earlier, and although I know events aren't income producing while you're there, it's the people that take what they're learning at those events, go home and implement it immediately that can really blow up their businesses. So what's your feeling on events, company-sponsored events, any events outside of that? How do you feel about events growing your business?
Well, events is a must. Let's talk about your company events. That is non-negotiable, especially your big annual convention. Now, if you have a smaller regional, you still should do your best to attend. But your annual convention, your big one, right, with like thousands, you have to attend there because it's a big belief builder. Networking, see, we're humans, right? You can be at home building it online, but there's nothing beats when you're in a stadium with 5,000, 10,000 people there, and you see people. It's just a huge belief, but you can't. It's the emotions. Like you can, and when you go to the event, there's great training, but people think, oh, I'm going to go there for the training. It's not about the training. It's about the emotions from the event, right? Like I'll tell you one thing. My first, you know how I expanded to Asia? I ended up growing a business to 18 different countries. It was all because of an event I went to. My first event, like my first big annual convention. My big turning point when I hit my first $1,000 a week check came from a regional convention, right? And if we have time, I'll share that story of how my mentor got me there because I didn't want to go. I wasn't making enough money. But when you go to the, I don't remember anything. I'll tell you the first event. I didn't want to go, and my mentor from Texas said, I'll never talk to you again. Don't call me. Because he was doing 3 ways. I was earning 100, 200 a week. Don't call me for 3 ways ever again if you don't go to this event. I said, well, I don't have money to go. Well, you better make it happen. You better go. So that's come on. It's so ridiculous, so rude. Like, you don't go, don't call me again. It's like an ultimatum. You better book your ticket and go. Especially it was in San Diego. You can drive from LA to San Diego. You better buy a convention ticket or else I'm not doing 3 ways with you. And the reason why is because and looking back, and then later on when I built a big business, I wouldn't even, if you didn't make a commitment to go to our annual convention, I wouldn't sponsor you because you're not worth my time. You're just not going to be successful. The bottom line is you don't go to the company event, you are not going to be successful. Right now, if you go doesn't mean you're going to be successful. But not going guarantees you will not be successful. Because when you go there, you can't deny that the business doesn't work. You can't deny Isagenix doesn't work. It's just incredible, the feeling. So if you go back, it's the 2 things you've got at events. It's the match. Of course, there's training there, but it's the connections, the people. The 2 people I talk about, Cindy, the accountability partners, Anthony and Lynn, right? I met them face-to-face at that first event. Now, we talked on the phone and stuff, but it was having dinner together, having a drink together. Like the relationship was bonded there. And then we never forgot that friendship. It's all because of, a meeting at the lunch and having drinks afterwards, right? And then we became accountability and friends. And we were closer than ever accountability partners. The building the belief was at that event. It was at a dinner when I was actually at dinner. Someone asked me what I like to do, and it was Lynn, right? I asked her. She asked me. Seems like you like sports. I said, yeah. I said, what do you like to do? She said, I like to ride horses. So horses? Yeah, I ride horses with my kids and my son, my daughter, my son. I was like, what? You have horses? I said, we have like a couple horses and stables. I'm like, what? I thought. See, back then, I thought only poor broke people like me do network marketing. It's like who actually in America or Canada owns horses? Rich people have horses, right? I was like, this woman is rich. And I found that she got rich because she had a financial services company. She sold and made millions of dollars. I was like, why in the world is she doing network marketing? She said, well, I researched a lot of businesses. She's only 40s. He's like, I'm very young. I need something to do my time. Might as well build residual income. It's the easiest way to get residual income. I was like, oh my goodness. I used to be scared, no confidence to tell about network marketing to my friends because it's for people poor and broke. I went to school. I didn't make as much money as my lawyer friends, but I'm kind of poor and broke. I worked at the MBA. So I'm like, oh, I'm doing a poor and broke way. I'm like, but now I know I have a millionaire friend that's doing network marketing. I'm like, I'm on the right track. Afterwards, I'll tell you, you have a bet. First person to hit $1,000 a week will take the other person. You know what? I never made more than $400 a week. I made $1,000 that week. And next week, Lynn made $1,000 a week. It was just a big belief builder, right? It's the belief, the emotions behind it, the networking. And I tell you, I don't even the big annual convention a couple months later, I don't remember anything about that. But anything I learned, all I remember was seeing 10,000 people, seeing a bunch of Asians. I was like, wow, I got to bring my business to Asia. got that vision. I would never seen that vision at home. No matter what read or YouTube videos, but it's like they're pumping the music. People are getting awards, and the feeling I'm sitting there not getting the award. I was so angry at myself, right? I could have never gotten that feeling sitting at home. But watching on YouTube, watching a live stream, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. It's the left and right. People's cheering and stuff. That got me inspired. That got me proud to be in network marketing. So I adopted this philosophy later on, right? If you didn't attend an event, I just wouldn't sponsor you. I'll give you someone else. I'm not working you one-on-one because I know you'll never be successful. This is one thing. If you want to make at least, I'm not even talking about 6 figures, 7 figures, just a part-time income. If you go, it doesn't guarantee you be successful, but don't go, you're guaranteed to fail and never make money. So you might as well just quit. I don't even want to sponsor the person. So you got to go to events.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so social media has changed so much since when you and I first got introduced into this industry. So what do you say to the people that, have watched a couple different platforms appear? What is your best social media advice for us?
The best social media advice, like what's the best platform, is the platform you stick with. Because there's so many, it's the shiny objects. And I want to do, back then there was this thing called Periscope. I want to do Facebook. I want to do LinkedIn. I want to do Twitter. I want to do Instagram. If you do all the YouTube, if you do so many, you're going to suck in all of them because you just don't have time. And people make a mistake. They see all this, like Gary Vaynerchuk doing all this stuff, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone. Well, you know what? Like Gary Vee, I read the other day, has like 20-something people just working on social media for him. 20-something people working on social media. We have one person, we got a prospect and work on the DMO and the action, right? We don't have time to make all this fancy stuff. So focus on one, because now, so we're 2019 going to 2020, back in the day, just like 6-7 years ago, if you do a little bit here, a little bit there, it's okay. But now people are so used to the high levels that these people are like, like I said, Grant Cardone, Gary, they're doing. Like if your stuff is just, sorry, my language, half-ass here in LinkedIn or Instagram, people don't get respect you. Right? Focus on one and use your time to work on the income-producing activities. And also, when you focus on one, you get really, really good knowing what to say, how to use that platform. If you're always chasing the next shiny object, whatever, you're never going to get good at it. And the sad thing is now, a lot of people say, you get to check the new Instagram algorithm, Facebook algorithm. Most people who do that, they're just trying to sell you a course. Stick with one. And you know which one works best? Right now, still the most people on Facebook.
Yeah, that's certainly.
I'm not saying to just do Facebook. If you like Instagram, then just do Instagram. Like I just introduced someone that's on today's show, right? That came out. Like he does 90% on Instagram. He doesn't dabble back and forth. He's a multiple 6-figure earner, only on Instagram, 90%. Doesn't do much Facebook, but he's focused. He's focused on one, and he got really, really good at one.
That's great. Okay, so how about, what's your thought on gathering emails, having an email list? A lot of people feel like emails are a thing of the past, but then you hear people say, if Facebook would go away and you don't have your potentials, emails and contact information, you're in big trouble. So what do you feel about email lists, lead magnets, opt-ins, all of those things that are really becoming popular in the online world?
Well, unfortunately, a lot of those things are people just trying to sell you a course, right? Sell you to buy things. And they know that we're, people, just network marketers, just like any people, we're suckers. It's a human DNA. Like we want to shiny, but every time the things are hard, we jump ship to the next thing. So if you just keep going, you'll be successful. Right? If you want to be successful, it's very simple. Just see what everyone else is doing and do the exact opposite what they do. Because most people are not successful. If they go left, you go right. If they jump, you go down. If they down, they go down. You go jump. You just do the exact opposite. So all that stuff is good. Of course, like email lists, lead magnets, they're really good, right? But it's not for most network marketers because you don't have the time to do it. It's like a full-time job. We have a lead magnet at mlmnation.com. It's like you need like a full-time, but we have a full-time person dedicated to that stuff. It's not for network marketing. It's definitely not duplicatable. Do you need it? You absolutely don't need it. Now, it's important to get an email, the email list, for example, to follow your customers, your downline. I believe that's really important. And that doesn't require much work to do. Getting an email list, you probably in your Isogenic system, you can send an automated email out. Does email still work? Absolutely still works. If it didn't work, companies wouldn't be using it. And I tell you, sometimes we have to think about not just us, we're network marketers, but our prospects out there, right? Like I'll give you an example. I just buy all types of sporting stuff for my kids on Dick's Sporting Goods. Obviously it works. Like the only stuff I buy is from the email marketing. My wife does shopping through email marketing. Any new releases, road runners, if you want running, they're great with email marketing, just hitting you emails, discounts, stuff like that. So email definitely works. Also the target, the market, like in our commissioner, our Little League, right? He's an attorney. I send him a text, he may not reply back. You send him an email, he really literally replies under 60 seconds. He literally, I was like, does this guy ever do? He literally, because he's in the corporate world and they live on email. So if you look at corporate America, corporate Canada, they live on email. You say, oh, email doesn't work. All those people doing the 9 to 5, you send them a Facebook messaging, a text, maybe they're working, not supposed to check their phone. They're not going to reply back. You email them, you get their attention.
Awesome. Then I would love for you to share when you were in the heyday of building your network marketing business and all of the leaders that you work with and you interview for your podcast, what would you say are the most important DMOs that absolutely have to be done each day, non-negotiable?
Well, you have to plan and schedule your day. Okay, you have to know what is your major agenda for that day. Who are you going to reach out to? Who are you going to follow up with? The major DMO is basically reaching out to new friends, new contacts. Right? So whether you're doing it offline, meeting people at a grocery store, meeting people, collecting business cards, getting phone numbers at Starbucks, or going on Instagram and connecting with people, or Facebook, meeting new friends, or LinkedIn, whatever you platform, you have to be adding new people every day. That's one of the big mistakes people make, right? So they get started and they work at the list. But once they run out of the list, then they get desperate. Every new friend, instead of building a relationship, they see a dollar sign in their head. Oh, I'm going to get that prospect. I'm hunting for prospects. And then people can sense that. They run away. So you got to be adding to your friends list every single day, expanding that network. You got to be inviting, following up, getting three-way calls, getting someone to look at a presentation every day. So, and that's all planning. The plan is not like, oh, I have a couple of minutes. What should I be doing right now? Looking at your phone. No, that's a total waste of time. Because time is the only thing you can never get back. All the leaders are very anal about their time.
All right, and I could keep you all night long. I'm absolutely loving this. This will be one that we're going to want to play over and over and over again. But I would love for you to end on sharing some of your top tips, things that really helped you, things that have helped the people you've interviewed. What are some of your top tips that you can leave us with for those people that really want to finish this year strong and then start in our new year in a huge way?
The number one skill for anything is consistency. So how can you be more consistent, right? And in recruiting, this business is about recruiting. Don't fall for the myth that, oh, it's duplication. The only duplication really is recruiting. You find your leaders. A big mistake a lot of people make is they recruit and build a small team and then go into management mode. And they want to look for the perfect system to duplicate. And it basically goes about laziness, our lazy DNA, because I don't want to recruit. I just want the team to do it, right? It is about recruiting. I share a story, right? In the 1950s, these two guys, they were like crazy recruiters, recruited 500 people within like 5 years. And then within 2 short years, believe it or not, guess how many people quit? Type it in. How many people? They recruited 500 people. Guess how many people quit? All right? Yeah, but pretty good. It's 496 people quit. 496 out of 500 quit. So that is like 99%. I think they're 90. I'm Asian, but I'm not good at math. Okay. So 99% quit. So for those 4 people, okay, those 4 people eventually built an $8 billion company called Amway. 4 people, right? This business is about recruiting. If I look back, my mistakes was getting in the management mode, create a system, It really was just recruiting. And then I found people that were smarter than me. I have like 10 people earn over $1 million club in the Philippines. They were smarter than me, right? It's just recruiting. The times when I've been managing mode, create this great system, they stayed, but you can't turn ducks into egos, right? You got to find the egos out there. It's just like the saying, like you can't turn a spade, whatever. I don't play cards. A club into ace of spades, right? You have to find the ace of spades. I have another coaching client. This guy has recruited like almost 30 people this year. Okay, for the previous 9 years in his company, he recruited maybe 5, 10 people, spent all his time creating a system, creating manuals, websites, login. I was like, stop doing this stuff. Just focus on recruiting. His team never recruited. Now, he did have a weekly team call. I'm not saying that don't focus on it. You have a weekly team call. That's why you go to events are important. Create that keeps people in there. But the leader has to keep recruiting. So this year, he got sick of it. And he said, all right, I'm going to listen to you. Worked on a DMO since November. It's almost been a year. He's recruited 30-something people. But the amazing thing is, because of that, his team actually has recruited duplicated more than ever before in the 9 years, even though he doesn't support them, doesn't have a system. Incredible. Because you know what? Every new team call, they see him bringing people in. They're like, oh, who's that person? Oh, I just joined Jared. Oh, who's that person? Oh, they see, and that increases their belief. People say, how do you motivate your downlines? Not by talking to them, not by motivating them, by action. When they see what is it? When I talk about Lynn Anthony, one of the things he did, I remember Lynn was like, Simon, you got to make more money. I was like, make it 125. I was like, well, Lynn, 125 bucks extra doesn't mean that much. But it says, you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for your team. Because when you earn more, you're tiny little bit more excited. And then your team sees that. That's where they get the belief from. You want to motivate your team. You got to grow. You got to go to your next ISOGENIC convention and you can never go back to the convention at the same rank. Every year, you got to move up to the rank. That's the thing that we did. I cannot go back. I don't know what I need to do. You got to because when the second you're at the same rank, everyone your team's belief goes down. They get demotivated and all duplication stops. But when they see you getting awards, doing trainings, getting new rank, like, wow, that inspires them. Or they're talking, reading books, whatever. It's just short term and it dies. They got to see you. You are the head of the train. If you go fast, your team goes fast. If you slow down, it slows down. If you stop, train stops. If you go backwards, it goes backwards. If you derail, your whole business is done. Okay, you got to not just lead the example. You got to set. So I think that is. I think the last thing I would add is you got to find some type of accountability, right? Or leaders that invest in themselves. They go to events. They go to outside your ISOGENIX events. You can go to other events. They are constant learners. They never stop learning. The Jim Rohn is saying, the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. They never stop learning. They're always growing, and they're focused by vision. They're selling the vision. That's what they're selling, right? See, the network marketers, a lot of you, if you're stuck, it's because you're stuck in your present. The present you. I'm not earning much. Or you're thinking about the past. You think about the 5 people that didn't show up, but you forgot the person that signed up a year ago. You're thinking about the people who didn't reply to your messages, but you forgot about the one that did, right? You're focusing on the past and the present. My lack of rank, that's discouraging. Leaders are selling vision. They're always selling vision. Where they're going. It's not where you are that inspires people. It's where you're going that inspires people. I was just reading something about Elon Musk. He's outlining, I read it on Flipboard, he outlined his task to send people to the moon within 6 months. I was like, that's a headline. I was like, all right, I got to read this. 6 months we're sending people to the moon, like an airline. What is this? And he's like, oh, if things all work out, we can send people into a year, but it's sending a test. But that's all, whether that happens or not, we don't know. But he's got a big vision. That's inspiring. People are inspired. Tesla is not even making money. But people are inspired by vision, right? You're selling the future. You can't be, but in order to do that, that's why Think and Grow Rich. You got to be thinking of the future. You got to be dreaming of the future, thinking about selling the future, not where you are. People ask you, how much money are you making? Hey, all I know is, what you can say? If someone ever asked you this, how much money are you making? Say, hey, all I know, I just got this crazy great training from this crazy Asian kid in California, shy core Asian kid, and 2020 is going to be the best year of my life. It's going to be incredible. You want to be part of it? Right? There's just passion, posture. You're just selling the future. You're selling the future. People, how much money you make? Hey, You know what? The next quarter, the last quarter of 2019 is going to be so good. I'm so excited about it. You just end right there and be like, oh, and the prospect, oh, okay. And how do you win? You just consistency, post, positive, post, keep growing, keep doing your DMO, and then sooner or later, all these people are like, wow, they'll follow your vision. Anyway, I can go on and on and on. But you fired me up, Cindy. I can go on.
Oh, you fired me up. Oh my gosh. I have one more call after this and I can hardly wait to get on there and rehash some of the stuff you've been sharing tonight. Well, let everybody know, Simon, how can they follow you if they want more of your inspiration and help and maybe even coaching? How can they follow you?
The easiest way is just go to MLMNation.com. You can find me at MLMNation.com and you check out podcasts. There's a lot of good stuff over there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we can't thank you enough for your time tonight. This has been a real gift for us. I've been interviewing people for years, and I was really excited and nervous about this call because, gosh, I've even interviewed the owner of our company, and I think I was more anxious and nervous and excited to interview you tonight. So thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom with us and pouring into our team. We really are we're very grateful for you.
No, thank you for the kind words, Cindy. Thanks again to Richard. Richard, by the way, is amazing. One thing about Richard, give him a shout out, is he's super coachable. That's a big thing. Not if this, if, no. And he can take advice. So some people say, if I give advice, oh, but it's not like this. Not buts. He's like, yes, and he applies it. And I think that's why he's been growing very quickly. All right, so anyway, it's an honor. Thank you for having me, Cindy. Looking forward to our interview on Wednesday and for you to be on MLM Nation on next coming Monday. In a week, you'll be live on iTunes. So it'll be really exciting.
So exciting.
My last message to you all, remember, you're in the profession to help others. So go out there and have a positive impact on someone's life today. God bless you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much. God bless you as well. Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in, everyone.